Hi, hello, and how are you? How are you? How are you? Hi, hello, and how are you? How are you today? I hope you're fine, I really do, really do, really do. I hope you're fine, I really do. Hope you're fine today. สวัสดีค่ะ Sabadi mai? Hello, how are you? It has been such a long time since I have done story time. You guys might have forgotten who I was. It's okay. Let me reintroduce myself. My name is Miss Stephanie, and I love to do story time and read stories and sing songs with you. Do you remember? Oh, some of you are like, oh yeah, I remember her. Well, we have been apart for quite a while because over the summer I took a break. Yeah. So, anyway, let's get back to business because I have been so excited to see all of you again. So, welcome to Story Time. And I have to get right off telling you, I said I just took a break over the summer. Have you guys heard of that word, summer? Yes. Yes, some of you said, oh, it's hot in the summer. Some of you said you went on vacation for the summer. Oh, yeah, some of you said we don't have to go to school or have school during summertime. That's true for a lot of places, you're right. Well, summer is a season, and it's a part of the year, like you guys said, where it's very hot. But I was wondering, this is my wondering face, if you guys have noticed any changes in the weather lately. Some of you are saying, oh, yes. Some of you are thinking, some of you are like, the weather. Oh, sorry. When I say weather, I mean how it feels outside, the temperature, maybe what's happening outside. Is it raining? Is it windy? Is it cloudy? What kind of things do you see and feel when you go outside? Right. Okay, so some of you have noticed some things. Okay, well, I have to tell you a secret. I just brought up the word seasons, and we just talked about the season of summer. Well, some of you had started to notice some changes in the weather and in how the season is feeling. So, today, the story I am going to read you is about these changes you're noticing. So, while you're listening to this story, see if you can figure out what is happening to the season from the clues in this story. Are you ready? Some of you are like, yes, I can't wait. Okay, let me just start reading. I'm going to read you this story, and it is called, I actually learned about it from another teacher, and she said, it is so good. And I said, okay, let me read it. And I did, and I said, I have got to share this with my friends at Storytime. So here I am, sharing it with you at Storytime. Gotta put on my glasses. Okay, so the story I am going to read to you today, it's on my iPad, so patience for technology, please. Thank you. Is called Fletcher and the Falling Leaves. Yeah, Fletcher and the Falling Leaves. It is by Julia Rawlinson and Tiphanie Beeke. Let me show you the cover. Fletcher and the Falling Leaves. Oh, some of you are noticing some changes on the cover that are giving you a little clue as to what's happening right now. Oh, okay, let's see. Okay, I just have to show you guys these pictures because they're so pretty. The illustrator did, it looks like watercolors, I think, paintings, and they're so pretty. So I just really want you to see them. So they're different trees. Yeah. Oh yeah, that tree. Just notice the different trees and grass and flowers. I know, right? Okay. Fletcher and the Falling Leaves. Oh, you know what? There's the whole picture. Sorry, I just want to show that to you. Look at that lovely picture. And look at the tree, yeah. Fletcher's checking it out. Okay, let me read and see what it says. The world was changing. Each morning, when Fletcher bounced out of his den, that's where he sleeps. They call it a den. He's a fox, yeah. And they sleep in a den. When Fletcher bounced out of the den, everything seemed just a little bit different. The rich green of the forest was turning to a dusty gold, and the soft swishing sound of summer was fading to a crinkly whisper. Fletcher's favorite tree was looking dull, dry, and brown. Fletcher, visiting it every day, was beginning to get worried. Oh, so his tree used to be green, and now he's noticing it's not green anymore. Did you guys notice that? Yeah, look at him. He's a little bit worried. He's like, what's going on? I think my tree is ill, said Fletcher. What's wrong with it? Asked Mommy. Its leaves are turning brown, said Fletcher. Don't worry. It's only autumn, smiled Mommy. Sounds like a clue, guys. Fletcher trotted back to his tree and patted the rough bark. Don't worry. It's only autumn, he said. You'll soon be feeling better. Have you guys heard that word autumn? Some of you have. Sometimes people use the word fall. Means the same thing. Oh, some of you have heard that word? Okay. Oh, sweet Fletcher, he's so cute. But the tree didn't get better. Day by day, it got browner still. One day, as Fletcher sat under the tree, the wind began to blow. A small brown leaf blew off the tree and drifted toward the ground. Fletcher jumped up and caught it very gently in his paw. Oh, see him? See the leaf? It's floating down and Fletcher's going to catch it. Don't worry, tree. I've got your leaf. You'll soon be fixed, said Fletcher. He looked around, scratched his head, and picked a piece of grass. He carefully tied the leaf to its branch and sat happily down. Just then, another gust of wind ruffled Fletcher's fur. That means it made his fur move. The little leaf shook itself free and fluttered back to the ground. Fletcher picked it up again and thought very hard. Then he poked the leaf onto a twig and pushed it firmly down. Now, you hold on tight, said Fletcher sternly. No more flying around. The little leaf gave a tiny rustle in reply. So here's Fletcher, that's him tying the leaf onto the branch. But then there, see, it's showing the leaf fall again, and then he stuck it onto that little twig, and he's telling it, now you hold on. Do you think it's going to hold on? What do you think is going to happen next? We'll see. We'll see. Maybe some of you are like, yeah, I think it's strong. It can hold on. And some of you are like, I don't know, might get windy, not sure. Okay, let's see. The next day, a strong wind was blowing through the forest. Fletcher rushed out of his den and ran all the way to his tree. Lots of its branches were brown and bare, and little lost leaves were whirling everywhere. Don't worry, tree, he called in alarm. I'll catch them for you, I promise. Round and round whirled Fletcher after the twirling leaves. Oh my goodness. Do Do you think he's going to be able to catch all the leaves? Have you ever run after a leaf in the wind? It's not easy, is it? No. Oh. Leaves, wonderful, just what I need for my nest, said a squirrel, scampering up. But these belong to the trees, said Fletcher. Don't take them away. The tree doesn't need them anymore, said the squirrel, and off he bounded. Help, help! The wind and the squirrel are stealing our leaves, cried a frantic Fletcher. Oh, he was so worried. He didn't know that the tree didn't need the leaves anymore. He didn't know. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know either. Oh. Yeah, that squirrel wasn't wrong. Leaves, marvelous. Just what I need to keep warm, said a hedgehog, rolling around. But these belong to the tree, said Fletcher, plucking leaves from the hedgehog's prickles. Not any more, snuffled the hedgehog, and away he rolled. Help! The wind, the squirrel, and the hedgehog are stealing our leaves, cried a frenzied Fletcher. First he was frantic, now he's frenzied. That means he's getting more and more upset about the animals using the leaves. I know, but you're right? They might need them. Oh, okay. Let's see. This time, a flock of friendly birds swooped down from the sky. They picked the leaves up in their beaks and poked them onto the tree's branches. Soon the tree was leafy again, and Fletcher flopped down and smiled. Oh, the birds felt bad for Fletcher, so they picked up some leaves and stuck them onto the tree for him. And he just laid and he was so happy. Thank you, birds, he gasped as the birds fluttered and chirruped away. He lay looking up through the leaves at the sky and drifted off to sleep. Oh, look at the birds. Yeah, and look at Fletcher there, leaning against the trunk. Oh, they made him feel better. Yeah, that was kind of them, right? Yeah, helped him out. But still the wind continued to blow, and still the branches danced. The leaves shivered and shook themselves and began to wiggle free. They tossed and turned and twitched and twirled and tumbled to the ground. They brushed Fletcher's ears and nose and filled his dreams with a whispering sound. Oh, kind of pretty though, right? They're not all the same color anymore. And what colors do you see? Yep, I see it too. I see red, I see yellow, kind of an orangish color. One of them is still a little bit green. Yeah, I did notice that. When Fletcher finally blinked awake, he couldn't believe his eyes. Instead of a roof of dancing leaves, he could see the branches against the sky. Aw, tree, I'm so sorry, gulped Fletcher. All your leaves are gone. But then he saw high in the branches one small leaf just holding on. I won't let the wind steal that one, said Fletcher, and he began to climb. He wriggled along to the last leaf and held firmly onto its branch. All day long the wind blew, the branch bounced, and Fletcher held on tight. I'll stay with you, leaf, he gasped. Don't worry that all your friends have gone. He's talking about all the other leaves. Oh, see the little leaf up here? Can you see it? And there he climbs the tree, and here he's staying with the leaf. Oh, so sweet. What do you guys think is going to happen next? I think so too, I know. But then, with a sudden whoosh of wind, the branch bounced high. With a whispered plip, the leaf let go and fluttered like a little flag clutched in Fletcher's paw. The last leaf came off. Remember, his mom told him it was autumn, and I told you another word people use for that season is fall. Fletcher looked sadly at the leaf, the tree's last leaf he had promised to save. He carried it carefully down the tree and all the way back to his den. He made it a cozy little bed and gently tucked it in for the night. But all night long he could only think of his tree all on its own. At first light, he tiptoed out into the chilly dawn. Ooh, it's feeling a little cooler out here, he's thinking. The wind had finally stopped blowing, and the air was damp and cold. The moon still hung in the clear sky, and pale stars glimmered. As he came to his favorite tree, Fletcher saw a magical sight. Oh my gosh, I wonder what he saw. Look, there he is. He comes home sad with his little leaf. You see him, the little leaf has a little bed. And then this is the next morning. He's going to check on his tree because he feels bad his tree's all alone without its leaves. Okay, let's see what he finds. The tree was hung with 1,000 icicles, shining silver in the early light. You are more beautiful than ever. Oh, I said it wrong. It says he whispered, so hold on, let me do it right. You are more beautiful than ever, whispered Fletcher to the tree made of ice. Can the squirrel and the hedgehog keep your leaves for the cold winter nights? A tiny breeze shivered the branches, making a sound like laughter, and in the light of the rising sun, the sparkling branches nodded. Oh my gosh! So all the leaves had fallen because it was autumn. It had changed from summer to fall, and now it's gotten so cold. It's turning into winter. And so he says, oh yeah, maybe those animals needed those leaves to stay warm, right? Yeah. Aw, and that's the end. And he learned that the tree didn't need those leaves anymore, did he? Did it? No. Sorry, I messed up right there. Oh, that was a really sweet story. That showed Fletcher was so worried about his tree and he was trying to keep all the leaves. But did the tree need its leaves anymore? No. Because did you notice some of the things that were happening in the story? Right. The leaves were falling off the trees. It was getting cooler. Yeah, it was. It was getting so much cooler outside, remember? And it was windy. That was something else. Have you guys noticed that in the weather outside lately? Has it been getting cooler? Are the leaves changing color? It depends where you live. I live in Thailand, and that is not happening here. It's raining here. It's a rainy season, so that's what's happening with our season. But the leaves do not change here from green. They are all still green. But depending on where you live, some places the leaves of the trees change to beautiful different colors, just like in the book. The red and the yellow and the orange. So pretty, right? I know. So what we're going to do is I have a little song for you for fun, and then we're going to do a craft. So no matter where you live, whether you live in Thailand or you live in Texas in the United States, where there's really not a lot of leaf changes there either, but the leaves do fall. They do. No matter where you live, you can have your very own beautiful fall tree. But first, we're going to learn a song. Would you guys like to sing a song with me? It's really short and quick. You would? Okay, great. All right. Let me get it for myself so I can review it. So let me pause myself. Let me make sure I pause it because sometimes I stop it and mess up. Pause. I did it right. Okay. Welcome back. So I said I had a fun little song for you, and it is about leaves. How perfect, just like our story. And it is called Leaves Are Falling. So you might not have a leaf of your own, but you can do a hand motion with your hands, and it goes like this. And I'll sing it once. You can join me when you want, or if you want to listen first and then join me second time around, because it's short. All right, here we go. Okay, ready? Here we go. Okay. Leaves are falling, leaves are falling. Leaves fall on my nose. I'm going to use a little leaf as a little on my nose. Leaves are falling, leaves are falling, leaves fall on my toes. You can't see my toes, but I'm touching my toes with the leaf. but you can touch your toes with your fingers. Leaves are falling, leaves are falling, leaves fall on my head. Leaves are falling, yellow, orange, and red. Good job. Okay, you ready? You want to do it with me? Okay. Stand up real straight and tall, because you get to touch your toes when we do the toes part. All right, here we go. Get your leaves ready. They got to be up here because they're going to fall. Okay, here we go. Leaves are falling, leaves fall on my head. Leaves are falling, leaves fall. Oh, I messed up. I got excited for my head. Rewind. Okay, let's start over. One more time. Sorry, guys. It's nose first. Nose. I just got excited about my leaves to fall on my head. Okay, here we go. Leaves are falling, leaves fall on my nose. Leaves are falling, leaves fall on my toes. Leaves are falling, leaves fall on my head. Leaves are falling, yellow, orange, and red. Beautiful job, guys. Thanks for helping me with my little mistake. It's a fun little song. Okay, today our craft is, like I said, to create our own fall tree or autumn tree that has a bunch of different beautiful colors of leaves. Because no matter where you live, you can create your own fall tree. So, what you will need for this craft is paper, pencil, maybe some crayons, scissors. I also have glue and paint. So I did mine with paint, but I'm telling you other items you might need if you don't have paint. So there's different things you can use. I'm going to show you what I did, and then I'll give you different ideas for how you can create your very own fall tree. All right, put on my glasses so I can see what we're doing. So first things first, we are going to make a fall tree using your very own cute little hand. Yeah. So first things first, you will need to, you can either, if you have brown paper, you can trace your hand on a piece of brown paper like this. And you see how I left some of the brown, I put my arm in there as well? Yes, because you're going to see in a minute why. I'll show you. Now, if you do not have brown paper, I had a piece of, you can use white paper or blue paper. I used blue for my background because I thought, oh, the sky. But if you have white paper, that's fine as well. And you can trace your hand right onto the white or blue paper. And you see how I put the arm? Yeah, okay. Now, what you're gonna do is if you traced it on brown paper, you will have it traced. Trace first, check. Then cut it out. Step 2, check. Then on your piece of blank paper, you will glue your, you will glue, let me just show you what I'm doing, sorry. You will glue your traced hand that is going to be your tree. Now you notice I chose, the reason that this is traced on brown is because this is your tree, guys. Yeah, right. This is your tree. The fingers are the branches, and the arm, is the trunk of your tree. And these are your branches coming up like a tree, okay? So once you've glued that down, you're either gonna have it like this, or if you had to trace it straight onto the paper because you didn't have brown paper, then with a brown crayon, you can color in with brown, okay? I actually did it on one of mine here, but you color in with brown crayon just where the tree is so that it will look like this. Okay. Then after you have colored in, you will then, let me get my brown crayon so that, just wait for me, okay? You will get your brown crayon and color it in. I just want you to see what I mean, because if you didn't have your own brown paper, then you have to make your own. So you'll color in, okay? You get what I mean here when I say color in? There you go, yeah. Once you have a tree that is colored in or a tree that is cut out of brown paper, either way, however it works with the materials you have. Once you have one of those kinds of hand trees, of your cute little hand, you'll notice the fingers are the branches and your arm is the trunk. There we go. Okay. All right. And once you've colored in your branches and trunk, done. Okay. Now once you have your tree like this, got it? Then what you'll need, now what I used was paint. And I used a cotton ball. So I used cotton balls to paint. And some, you can use your fingers. I just happen to have these little clothespins, so I use them when I'm painting so my hand doesn't get too messy. So I just kind of pinch them. I had 4 colors of paint. So I have orange, just to show you. I have orange, yellow, and red, just like in the song. And in the book, if you remember, Fletcher's leaves, his tree's leaves, when they fell off, they had some, remember, we looked at the colors. Same colors, yeah. Yeah. Now, some of you might be thinking right at this moment, I don't have any paint. How am I going to do it? No worries. I have, you know, Miss Stephanie always has another way. Now, we're going to start with this way. But oh, and I also did use brown. I used brown for a leaf because some of the leaves are brown. And so I just used all of these colors. You'll notice I have a towel under here. You might use just a tray, but I have a towel so nothing gets on the furniture, or you don't make a mess, you know. But I am going to put some paint on a paper plate so that I will have some paint for the different color leaves. Yellow. I'll show you in a minute what I did. I didn't really use a lot either of paint. It doesn't take too much, and you'll see. You guys are being so patient. Thank you. I have to get the paint out right before I paint because otherwise it tends to dry out. So I kind of wait a little bit. So thanks for your patience. Okay. I'm going to wipe off one of these spoons so that I can use it in the brown real quick. Didn't mean to do that, but okay. We'll put a little bit of brown out. Okay. So let me just show you what I did, just so you can see the amount. I didn't use a lot. You see that? I didn't use a lot of paint. I'm going to move these over. There you go. Now, what I'm going to do, I just start with this one color. So I'm going to start with brown and get some brown on here. There we go. And then I just go over here and I just start dabbing. And you hold your paper down And you just kind of dab around on your branches. This is your branches. Now some leaves, what happened in the story? Right, some of the leaves fell. Yeah. So I might put some of these brown leaves down on the ground. Okay, there. So that's all I want for that color. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to get a fresh new cotton ball for the next color. I'm going to go ahead and do orange, I think, for the next color. Sorry, little spoon. Get it on there, see? And then you just dab around. And really, you'll notice, you can dab around. It's okay if you get a little bit of brown mix with it. No worries. I mean, you notice some of those. You can re-dab over some of your leaves here. Yeah. Yep. There you go. Okay. Next, I will do, and you keep going. You keep putting the colors that you want to put, or the colors you have. So, for example, I might stop. I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to show you what mine ended up coming out like, what it looks like. So I have a final copy or a finished product, and here's my fall tree. And look, oh yeah, I made some leaves that were actually falling down, but I put some leaves on the bottom, and then here are the different colored leaves. So our tree we're making looks like at the beginning of the story with Fletcher, yeah, when it still had all its leaves, but it's now the wind starting to blow, so some of the leaves are starting to fall down. So that's what my finished tree looks like with paint. Now, some of you are like, okay, yes, but what about if I don't have paint? Okay, let me show you. If you do not have paint, no worries. I will show you what to do with my other tree here. I'm going to just stick these together. And I'm going to use this blank tree. Now, you can do a couple things. You can make your own leaves out of paper and actually make them the shape of leaves. These are kind of big for this size of tree. I mean, it's too big. Yeah. So you could make small leaves that are like kind of like an oval, really. You don't even have to have the stem. You could do that and glue leaves on. Or you could, if you do have colored paper, you could just show you what I'm doing. I'm going to move my paint so I don't accidentally get it on myself. You could just tear paper like this and just decide, okay, I'm going to start with this color. And you could just tear. This is really good, guys. I'm going to tell you, if you guys are into making your little hands super strong, ooh, this is great for that hand strength. So you get even stronger and stronger at holding your pen and pencil. It's a really awesome thing to do. Then, once you have little pieces like that, those are like your little leaves. And what you do is you put glue where you want it, like there, and you just stick your leaves on. You can even put it on the piece if you want, up to you. And you just stick leaves around the top where the branches are. You could even have a leaf falling down. Yeah. So instead of the paint, you're sticking the colored leaves on. These are your leaves with little torn, your different colored torn paper. Now that's one way to do it. Or I had another way that I learned one time where you, this is just a fun other way that if you wanted to try it, it's not going to hurt. You cut your paper kind of in squares like this, and you use your pencil. This is just fun. I really like doing this. You put your pencil in it to kind of make like a cup, and it covers the eraser. So you cover the eraser. You see how the paper's covering the eraser? And then you just put glue on that bottom part that's covering the eraser, okay? Then once you have that on there, this is tricky. I mean, this, you really have to have strong, super strong hands, but it's really kind of fun to do. And then you put it on, and because it's folded, it kind of is like a 3D. effect. See? Yeah, it almost looks like a flower, but it's just kind of a neat effect. So you could do that, and you could do different colors of that, with the torn paper or this way of wrapping it around your pencil and then just putting a bit of glue. You don't even have to put that much. And then it just kind of has like oops, it's stuck to my finger, so that's a tricky thing. You got to make sure you might want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then when you look at it straight on, it's just kind of neat. It just has that 3D effect to it. So up to you. So you could tear paper, bunch of different colored papers, and glue them on, different colored leaves just kind of around each other, and you cover your branches. Or you could do this 3D effect, or you could draw your own leaves and color them in. If you only have white paper like this, you draw that shape and then you color them in the color you want and stick them on your tree. Again, these sides, this is too big. This was for the song we sang. Or actually the first thing I showed you, which is, let me lift up high, which is with the paint. So you have a lot of options here. You can put your colorful fall leaves on your tree with paint, with torn paper. I didn't do it all. I'm just giving you the idea so you have time to get busy. Otherwise, I'll be here forever, you guys know, if you remember. Or you can do that little trick I showed you where you wrap the paper around the bottom of the pencil and you just put it on the top of the glue. It's kind of a fun 3D effect where it kind of pokes out at you. It's kind of a fun idea. And you remember you can put leaves down here because the leaves are falling. Yeah. Well, that's our story time for today. I'm so happy I made it to you in fall because fall is definitely one of my favorite seasons. I do love the beauty of all the colorful leaves. I hope you guys enjoyed our story and had fun and enjoy your craft. I would love to see pictures of your creations. Please remember to send them in to the on Facebook at Bumblebee Free Library here in Thailand. It's a library that the children here close to where I live use to read books. Anyway, I hope to see you guys again next week. I am going to do another story time next week and look forward to seeing you guys. So for now, goodbye to you, goodbye to you, goodbye, dear readers, goodbye to you. Enjoy. Sawadee ka.